Hello everyone, it's Alina. Welcome to my Soap General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. True, accidents do happen in real life, but on soap operas, not at all. Our best guess is that the shocking turn of events on General Hospital is finally bringing the Liaison cast back together after all these years. Go with our reasoning. To start, Steve Burton's return as the late Jason Morgan was announced during the show's 60th anniversary special. Then, the soap's head writers hinted at Elizabeth experiencing a jaw-dropping shock. Elizabeth will be taken aback a little while into the new year, Chris Van Etten and Dan O'Connor informed Soap Opera Digest, when a figure from her past shows up at her doorstep requesting her help. Could that presence from her past be anybody except Jason, alive and well, having survived the 2021 tunnel collapse that reportedly took him to that great tiny black t-shirt sale in the hereafter? From the standpoint of the plot, the timing couldn't be better. At last, Elizabeth and her significant other Finn are where they need to be, ready for an upset. Furthermore, the couple may be in for game over if Liz, who has already lied to her lover about her association with Nicholas, conceals Jason's resurrection from him. Meanwhile, the ex-lovers may remember how important they were to each other as Liz helps Jason figure out how to tell Port Charles, including his ex-wife Sam and ex-wife Carly, that the reports of his death were greatly overblown. So by the time that Finn finds out that Liz has sat on another whopper of a secret, she could only be kinda sorta upset to see their romance come to an end. What do you think? Will it be Jason who comes knocking on Liz's door, or this other man from her past? Soaps.com has the newest new General Hospital spoilers from Monday, January 22, to Friday, January 26. Get ready to bid farewell to Spencer and Trina as they jet out to Paris, but not until after, of course, a spectacular party. Meanwhile, Finn's day in court arrives, Tracy matches wits with Scott, and the walls close in on Esme. Read on for all the details. Ace may be off the canvas, but he's certainly the topic of conversation as Laura and Dant talk about how the law might be employed where the small child is involved. Meanwhile, Esme is doing a little consulting of her own, with her crazy mama Heather. Two of the sharpest wits in town, Tracy and Scott, do verbal combat. Here's praying they don't draw blood. Drew's choice tosses Nana for a loop. When Brooke, Lynn, and Chase ask his dad for a favor, something tells us it'll be with respect to their forthcoming wedding. Is Tracy playing along with Scott, or simply playing him? It may become apparent today. Meanwhile, Lucy tries convincing Martin that he has nothing to worry about. As his trial date draws, Finn can't help but feel increasingly apprehensive, given everything that's on the line. It's the big day for Curtis as he awaits the results of his last exams. Anna has reservations about her gal pal Jordan. It's time for Trina and Spencer to continue their adventure to Paris, so Curtis throws the lovebirds a bon voyage party. When Laura sits down for a discussion with Heather, that's right, Heather, can she discover out what's really going on with Esme? Meanwhile, Kevin tries a crack at reaching the troubled young woman. Christina finds out if she's going to be making sis Molly's parental aspirations come true. Perhaps dodging a bit, Spinelli accuses Cody of having affections for Maxie. What Laura, Dante, and Chase uncover leaves them with some major concerns. Sunny has a few words of advice for Alexis, but will she listen? Martin feels he has the kind of evidence that will help him triumph in the courtroom. Jordan begs Sunny's associate, Brick, for an aid. Meanwhile, Robert's eagerness to see Sunny punished puts him and Diane on opposing sides of the table, in more ways than one. Spencer and Trina's Parisian journey begins. For Finn, everything could come down to what he says upon taking the stand in the courtroom. Laura can't help but face regrets she's struggling with. Ava and Sunny put their heads together to devise plans, and something tells us they're not deciding where to take their daughter this summer. Nine is at her lowest point, and guess who's there with the proposition? That's right, her ex, Valentine. Already this year has been rather insane where casting decisions are concerned. Join us in checking out Soap's comings and goings of 2024 so far by seeing our new photo gallery. There are so many ways in which life imitates art, and vice versa. In both, sometimes it takes a catastrophic turn of circumstances for us to grasp what's important in life. It is also during our times of deepest needs that, if we're lucky, there are so many ways in which life imitates art, and vice versa. In both, sometimes it takes a catastrophic turn of circumstances for us to grasp what's important in life. It is also during our times of deepest needs that, if we're lucky, friends and loved ones come together so that each has another to lean on. We've all heard the term, "it takes a village to raise a child," but that same village is required when the time comes to get through our worst circumstances. Ever since the passing of Jacqueline Zeman, we've seen this confirmed over and over, both off-screen and on. In the days immediately following Zeman's death, practically every person who'd ever met paths with the actress stepped out to speak of her truly kind and giving character. Now, months later, General Hospital characters are doing the same. Even those who shared a not always spectacular history with Barbara Jean Bobby Spencer can't help but agree that she rose from a tough beginning to become one of Port Charles' most adored locals. Now comes word that another of Bobby's co-workers from the nurses' station will be attending, and if we're being honest, we expected he would be. How could Mark Anthony Samuels Felix not be on hand for the event? Believe it or not, the actor's been playing Nurse Dubois since way back in 2012. Sadly, we haven't seen much of the character in recent years. He helped care for Sonny's ill dad, Mike, throughout his last days. But for the most part, he's existed in the world just off camera, probably helping keep patients from coding and helping to prepare the nurses' ball. Now Felix will be on hand to pay his respects to Bobby and perhaps help her son, Lucas, deal with his sadness. That might, of course, get hard given the delicate history between the two. But as last we'd heard, Lucas was separated from his ex Brad, and little has been spoken of either character since. Anything is possible, including Felix and Lucas currently being connected. Carly and Drew ultimately learned Michael knew the truth about Nina, and of course it was Nana herself who dropped the bomb, right in front of Willow. Once again, not a wise move, Nina. Will she ever learn? Willow lashed out at Nina, stating she was exactly as bad as Carly thought she was. A phrase I wish Willow would retire because it always makes it like she lets Carly do all her thinking for her. One day maybe Willow will discover Carly is not the great mother she has made her out to be. I can't wait for the day that Carly maybe even turns on Willow for whatever reason. While Carly readily forgiven Michael, he is her son after all, Willow at least has not and has her eyes partially open to him. She's starting to discover Michael has a dominating side and a vengeful one too. Keep your one eye open, Willow. Oh, who am I kidding? She'll forgive him soon enough, most certainly. Drew also let Carly know, as furious as he is at Michael, that they'll work through this. Once again, Michael gets absolved by practically everyone. However, Drew was determined on having Nina pay. In an earlier draft of my piece, I gave Carly praise for telling Michael and Drew to forget about Nina and put her behind them, and it was time to move forward. She had spoken to them and Sam about how Bobby's death had altered her. Unfortunately, the adjustment lasted about as long as the new Carly who came home from Jacksonville did. The moment she was given the opportunity to strike back at Nina, she took it. Drew removed Nina from Crimson and replaced her with Carly as editor-in-chief. Nina was right to claim she made Crimson, so do they think Carly can just come in and somehow keep everyone loyal to Nina? Even Nana had that problem at the hotel, so Carly should too. Yes, Nina stepped in and learned how to run the hotel, but she bumbled at first, and she came in being a competent entrepreneur. Fashion is a different shark. Carly has no history with any of the contacts she needs to have to manage this magazine, and what makes her and Drew think they'll work with a novice in the industry? She better rewatch The Devil Wears Prada. Here is hope Nina puts up a rival magazine and brings everyone with her. Unfortunately for viewers sick of Carly and Nina's squabbling, it appears we aren't going to see the end of it anytime soon, until Nina decides to walk away from the whole lot of them. Yeah, that's unlikely. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.